You told me that the first guy that tried to get across the sharks was eaten by the sharks?
Oh no. Not the player, but the like. You know when you have to follow a guy in the games.
Oh, the guy, the tour guide or the leader.
He's like a lieutenant, a commander, sort of, and he got past first time. But the player that I was watching died the first time. He got a bit too close and then it bit him.
Yeah, there was a scientist that had some technique to walk around the sharks, but it failed on video. I'm not sure if he dropped a drop of water from a shark, one drop of water, and it would keep the other sharks from attacking. For instance, you capture a shark, it's dead, you use that water, a drop of that water, of that blood rather, from the shark, and you put it in the area where the other sharks are, and you're walking around in that area. It's shallow water, but for some reason these sharks were going around in circles, right? But one of them bit him anyway. His technique, his theory, what happened?
Failed.
And that's too much of a risk. With the shark suits, what I saw is they put food for the shark inside the suit.
That's good. You're in the suit with it?
No, just the suit. Like this, but they wouldn't eat it. Normally, without the regular suit, if you give them a regular scuba diving suit, the shark would eat it. But when you put them inside the blue and the blue or the zebra type shark, the zebra type thing, the zebra suit, then the shark would not eat it.
That's good.
All right. So the animals were his teachers and friends. I'm reading from The Day of Piglet. The virtue of the small. But gradually, at first, and then with increasing intensity, man's ego began to grow and assert itself. Finally, after it had caused many unpleasant incidents, the consensus was reached that man should go out into the world alone to learn a necessary lesson. The connections were broken. On his own, feeling alienated from the world he had been created from, cut off from the full extent of its abundance, man was no longer happy. He began to search for the happiness he had lost. When he found something that reminded him of it, he tried to possess it and accumulate more, thereby introducing stress into his life. But searching for lasting happiness and accumulating temporary substitutes for it brought him no satisfaction. What happened to did you ever hear about the conquistadors?
Yes.
Columbus discovered the Americas. After him, a bunch of people came over, and they conquered the tribes of the native people in the Americas. In South America, I believe, or Mexico, in one of those places, the Spaniards, conquistadors, they found out that there was silver or gold, and they forced the native people to give them more and more gold. A room full of gold.
Did the natives trick them into going somewhere else to find a fountain of
The
life?
fountain of youth?
Or is that someone else?
I'm not sure where that story came from. Maybe there are many cultures with a fountain of youth. If you come from the north and you live in Florida, you say, thank God I'm not up north.
Why?
It's so cold, my son. People run to open their doors. all you see when they go out is their eyes. They cover up like this with bufandas, scarves. They move quickly. They get fatter.
Why?
Of course, some people don't get fatter, but usually the girls, if you ever look and you go up there, Midwest, Illinois, Ohio, Indiana, who knows where else, you look and you say the girls are fat. And then when you come to Florida, because when I came to Florida, I said, why are they so thin? I wasn't accustomed to seeing girls that were so thin. All right, so it brought him no satisfaction. As he was no longer able to hear what the other forms of life were saying, he could only try to understand them through their actions, which he often misinterpreted. Because he was no longer cooperating with the earth angels and nature spirits for the good of all, but was attempting to manipulate the earth forces for his benefit alone.
The kidney is hanging on the wires without touching the floor.
Plants began to shrivel and die. With less vegetation to draw up and give off moisture, the planet's atmosphere became drier and deserts appeared. A relatively
That's a good
small,
theory.
it's a nice theory. A relatively small number of plant species survived, which grew smaller and tougher with passing time. Eventually, they lost the radiant colors and abundant fruit of their ancestors. Man's lifespan began to shorten accordingly, and diseases appeared and spread. Because of the decreasing variety of food available to him and his growing insensitivity, man began to kill and eat his friends, the animals. They soon learned to flee from his approach and became increasingly shy and suspicious of human motives and behavior. And so the separation grew. After several generations, few people had any idea of what life had once been like. Doesn't it sound like the story of the Garden of Eden?
Yeah.
To me, that's what it sounds like.
But this is the nicest theory. I like it. For some reason, I like it better.
All right. This is, by the way, this is one person's interpretation of Taoism. Could you please do what is next?
Fine. Keep reading.
The next step, son. I told you about the native people and how the conquistadors came to take the gold, right?
Yeah.
There was one more thing. Some Spaniards were held by bows and arrows,
Oh.
and they were invited, and they said the gold is in this room.
Are they really that dumb?
No, they went in, but then they were forced to eat it.
Are they really that
I think it was they were supposed to melt it or something. I'm not sure. But if you didn't, you got a bow. You got an arrow through your back. It's easy to say, don't be attached to anything.
What if there was one guy with a pistol?
Could you grab another one with water and wipe it down?
Okay. Now, would you think? Okay. 3 guys with bows and arrows
Mm-hmm.
versus a guy with a gun, a pistol.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think would win?
It's unknown, son.
Depends where the archers are, right? Or where the gun guy is. Like if he's in the middle of the 3, boom, boom.
I thought of this before. Who wins between a woman with a machete and a man without a machete?
Depends how skilled the woman is.
It depends on so many things. It doesn't mean that the woman will win. It doesn't mean the man will win.
The chance of the woman is decent because she has a sword.
Mm-hmm.
And the guys just have bare hands. But 4 guys surrounding her or just in a straight line in the same place?
One man against one woman.
Oh, 1 man versus 1 woman.
Mm-hmm.
The machete.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. The woman might win. I thought you were saying 4 man with 1 woman. I was like,
You never know.